my God. Okay, so let me just say hello to Tony Kate. Thank you. Thank you, Tony. Tony's in Salisbury, UK. We've got Arnie Johnny Pedersen from Norway. Welcome. Victor Zen from Singapore, 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Welcome, you crazy guy. Stella from Eastbourne, UK. Welcome. Sean Chang. Welcome from Singapore. Wow, another crazy Singaporean, man. And Danny from France. Welcome. Okay, so today, just a couple of things that I wanted to cover, but I'm just going to sort of say to you guys that if there's anything specific that you wanted to ask me, any bit of advice about building a business, or any particular challenges or anything like that, just type in a chat box your questions, burning questions, challenges to overcome, etc. Objections maybe that people give you, like some kinks in what you're doing, or like where you're maybe not getting results. Just put the comments in the chat box, and definitely let's cover them. So obviously on last Thursday's coaching webinar, I talked about obviously the importance of goal setting. Obviously, so like we talked about doing a review of last year and 2019. Okay, the good, bad, and ugly. Okay, and sort of jotting it down, writing it down on a bit of paper. Then we talked about a goal, the 10 goal method. Okay, and how to effectively write goals down, and the absolute importance of writing goals down, because obviously you're committing your goals to paper, you're manifesting them, you're putting it out to the universe. It's very, very important. And despite whether you are skeptical on that, or don't believe it, just do it. Okay, because I was that person who was very skeptical, very cynical about that, and when I started to do it, everything changed for me, very, very positively. So like, just sometimes you have to have just have to have faith. You got to take a leap of faith and just do it. And interestingly enough, today I caught a video so from Steve Harvey. So Steve Harvey is like a very famous chat show host, obviously hugely successful, multi-millionaire, and he was sharing a story of like when he first got started out, and basically he was sleeping out of his car. Okay, hang on. Love to know how to convert a hot rapid fire prospect to a sign up 15 reached hot status and so far. Okay, I will answer that. So let's just get back to the story, talking about Steve Harvey. So basically at that time he was sleeping in his car and nothing was working for him. He had like $35 in his pocket. He was broke, okay? And he pretty much was on the verge of just quitting. So like, he'd sent out demos to like various theaters, comedy places, all sorts of places, TV, and it just was not getting any jobs at all. And he was just totally like exhausted, fed up, and literally in tears. He was like, on the verge of quitting. And he basically like went to the phone box and he put in a coin to dial basically home. So he was gonna call his dad actually, and like just say, I'm gonna come home and I'm quitting. But before he got to speak to his dad, he dialed into it was like an answer phone service, right? Where he collected his voicemail messages, and lo and behold, okay, I mean, and just prior to that, he said, he sort of asked God, God, why are you doing this to me? And, like, I thought you were going to show me the way and all this kind of stuff. And essentially what happened was he picked up a message, and it was from, I think it was like NBC Comedy or someone, but it was like a TV station, and they wanted him to come to New York to do a slot, okay, on Sunday evening. And like at that point, it was like Tuesday or Wednesday or something like this, right? And he was like, you know, wow, that's great, but how the hell am I going to get to New York? It's going to cost me $150 to get to New York, and I mean, I've got $35 in my pocket. So like, so you know, on one hand, this opportunity came, but then on the other hand, I mean, like there was no way that he could get to New York because he didn't have the money, right? And then what happened was like he's like trying to work it out, trying to figure it out in his mind and whatever, and like in the end, he's like, well, I'm gonna have to call this guy who's called me from this radio station to find out whether it is definitely this Sunday or if it's gonna be next Sunday. Because if it's next Sunday, then that will give him like a week to hustle to get the money together to get to New York, right? And basically, so he called, he picked the phone up and he called in his to the voicemail again because he needed to pick up the number and stuff. And then he basically had another call, another voicemail message, and it was from a comedy. It was like for a comedy slot in where was it? I don't know. It was another city, okay. And apparently, this city was 3.5 hours drive from where he was. And they offered him a slot like literally the next night. So I think it was Wednesday, and they said Thursday night we have a slot for you, and you know, if you can make it, then you know you'll make $150, right? Okay. So he basically went there and absolutely smashed it, made $150. They loved him so much. They said, look, if you stay tomorrow, so no, this was on for Friday night, okay. So he did that, and then they said, look, if you can basically stay on the Friday night, they told him, you stay on the Saturday night, then we will give you another $150, right? So basically he made just out of the blue, like, I mean, you know, because, you know, maybe, you know, he God working in mysterious ways, as they say. He made $300 on the Friday and the Saturday night, and essentially, like, he got to New York, and he managed to get like $100 return flight to New York on the Sunday. Okay, so this one would have been like years ago, decades ago, right? And he turns up to this it was the Apollo, actually. So it was the Apollo in New York City, Apollo Theater. And he turns out around 11 a.m., okay? And he says to them, you know, like, I'm here, you know, you call and spoke to this guy. And they said, okay, but you're early. It's like 11 a.m. You're not going to be on till tonight, okay? And he said, well, I've got nowhere to go, right? Okay. And he said, can't I stay in the building? They said, no, you can't stay in the building. You know, you have to come back later. And he said, well, you know, I literally have nowhere to go. He had 2 bags with him. He said, this is all my world's possessions in 2 bags. So the guy then says to him, okay, look, you can go upstairs. There's a room upstairs where you can wait. Don't come down, okay? You just stay upstairs, right? So, like, he went upstairs, you know, just to kill some time or whatever. And by around 3 p.m., he was hungry, okay? So he was, like, starving hungry. So, like, he's like, oh, man, I've got to get something to eat, right? Okay. So he went downstairs, and the guy says to him, what the hell are you doing? I told you not to come downstairs, to stay upstairs. And he said, I'm hungry. I've got to get something to eat. And he said, look, I saw a KFC outside, like, on the corner. Let me just go and grab some chicken to eat, and then, you know, then I'll be out your way. And the guy said, well, you got 20 minutes. He said, if you're not back within 20 minutes, he said, then that's it. You're not going to be let back into the building. So, like, he was like, no, I'll be back. So he went, and then he came back, had some chicken and whatever. And then in, like, later on from 6 p.m., some more acts were turning up, more comedians. So, like, so a guy turns up whose name was Dwayne Johnson. You know him by The Rock. Another guy turns up by the name of what was the other guy? Oh, Chris Rock. Okay, everybody knows Chris Rock, yeah, famous actor comedian. He was in Rush Hour uh, with Jackie Chan, right? Okay, and then you had who was the other one? Jamie Foxx, right? And then there was another guy as well, but I can't remember his name. But basically, like these crazy, famous comedians and actors and singers who are super famous today. Nobody knew of them back then. They weren't famous back then because it would have been like 30 odd, 40 years ago, whatever it was. Yeah, like probably 30 odd years ago, right? So anyway, so he's waiting to go on, and the first guy goes on, and this is the guy that I can't remember his name was, but he goes on. He was like quite a big uh, like comedian, up and coming back then, and he got booed off, right? And then the second guy goes on, and I think that was Dwayne Johnson, and he gets booed off as well. And then the third guy basically goes on, and that was Chris Rock, and he gets booed off, right? So basically, four people go on, and they get booed off, and then it's his turn, and he's like super nervous, right? So he basically then goes on, and like he had this joke in his head. It was about Mike Tyson beating a local, like, Brooklyn or wherever they were, where the theater was. He tells a joke about a local guy, and man, he gets a standing ovation, right? Okay, and he makes $750 that night, yeah. And then they call him back, to do another show some weeks later, and then eventually he gets called to be the host, okay, of the like that comedy show in the Apollo Theater, and he eventually becomes the longest running host of that show. 8 years he does it, so there's no one in history who hosted that show longer than him. And obviously then eventually, I mean, he went on to become I don't know what his net worth is, but it's going to be hundreds of millions. Yeah, so I mean, just incredible. But the point of the story was he was about to quit. He was about to quit. So the thing is, when you relate it to any, like being an entrepreneur, so many times, you do things and things aren't working out, and it could be that you're 3 feet from gold. So if you've read the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Actually, let me just grab that. This book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, right? Okay. So this is an absolute classic in success books, right? And one of the things that he says, Napoleon Hill, in that book, is the concept of being 3 feet from gold, right? Okay. And you see, you only lose is when you quit. You only lose when you quit, right? Okay. That's it. It's very simple. Because the thing is, we all start out, on an entrepreneurial journey, we all start out, okay, with a goal in mind, an end goal in mind of what we want. So when we're talking about the dreams and the goals and the vision board last week, we have all that. But the problem that we face is that things don't always go how we anticipated, right? So, we get people who say no, we get people who reject us, we get people who quit on us, we get people who lie to us, yeah? We get people who destroy our dreams, dream stealers, the haters. You get people who like just don't catch the visions, the people who criticize us, yeah, all this kind of stuff. And all this kind of stuff happens to entrepreneurs, and it's not just in our business. I mean, I still own a conventional business after 20 years, my computer man business. When I first started it, the number of friends and family members who were like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing that, right? And that was like setting up an IT support business, right? Okay. So the thing is, there are critics in everything. I was watching the film The Greatest Showman. Guys, if you haven't seen the film The Greatest Showman, You need to see that film. It's absolutely like amazing. I think I've probably seen it already 7 times, but the other day I was watching it with Jay, in fact, and it's a fantastic film, but it's got like, so many amazing messages because of the, like like because it talks about the entrepreneurial journey that Hugh Jackman, who obviously is the guy, the lead actor, he goes through all the different things and the pains and the failures and the rejections and the all the dream stealers and like then getting success and let it go into to his head. I would definitely recommend watch The Greatest Showman, and I mean because it's a iconic book film in terms of like the journey of an entrepreneur. And you see, the thing is, this is the reason why, coming onto webinars like this, okay, to build your mindset, going to an event. Obviously, Saturday we've got the regional training event in London. We've got, where you're gonna sharpen your sword. You're gonna get mastermind. You're gonna, get with, other people who are in the business and all that. It's so critical for the business to keep you going, to like reset. Like when you've like felt down and sometimes, you feel like quitting. And trust me, I know this because, today, I mean, like this is my, so almost 10 years in World Ventures, but 16, this is my 17th year within network marketing. And trust me, in the first year, I wanted to quit so many different times, probably 1,000 times I wanted to quit, right? Every other day I wanted to quit because, my partner at the time was totally negative. My ex-wife, she was just so negative about the business and what I was doing. I was exhausted because I was working more than 80 hours a week, 6-7 days a week already. And, then I wasn't getting results. And like, then I got ridiculed by some of my friends. I mean, I had it all the reasons to quit. I was $500,000 in debt. I had every reason to quit. Yeah. I was just so tired with my life. And that was the thing that kept me motivated. The idea of living that life and that existence for another 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, that is just absolutely made me sick. It made my gut wrench, okay? And this is the reason why I kept going, okay? And I just I just knew every day, I'm like, I'm sick and tired of this life. I was telling myself, I'm sick and tired of this life. I want to change. Because the thing is, you see, people want change, right? So hear this, right? This is really important. People want change, but they're not prepared to change themselves, right? So people want change in their lives. So they want a better life. They want a better body. They want all the better car. They want their dream car, their dream house, and their dream holidays. They want it, but they're not prepared to make a change themselves and to take the action, right? Okay. But, see, the thing is, first of all, knowing what you want is super important, which is what I was talking about last week. By setting the goals and by doing all that kind of stuff, and like, but the thing is, then it's like about taking the action, right? Yeah, not until the pain becomes so great. Yeah, the thing is, it's true, and sometimes you see, there's a comfort zone. We all have a comfort zone, right? Okay, for many people, that comfort zone is hitting that couch, watching the death box or the television, or just wasting mindless hours of time on social media, right? That's your death box. That is your comfort zone, right? Okay. And, that may hit hard to some people, right? But, it's like when you make excuses, you go to your comfort zone, right? Because it's just easier, it's comfortable, right? Okay. But the thing is, like, if you don't change, if you don't take that action, because you see, sometimes people say to me, oh, like, I don't have the time, don't have time. And I say, okay, like, I don't know about you, but where I live, we have 24 hours a day, right? Okay. And if you take like 10 hours a day for working, including travel, and you take 8 hours for sleep, that means you've got 6 hours left, right? So like, what do you do with your 6 hours, right? You're telling me you can't find 1 hour a day, even 5 days a week, to change your situation, to change your life, right? It's not that you don't have time, you have time, but it's like you don't prioritize your time, right? You don't see the value in trading 1 hour of time a day to change your life, okay? That's what the reality is, okay? That's the reality. And you see, so it's like when people say, oh, you know, I want to lose weight, yeah? So like on New Year's, like New Year's at the beginning of the year, everyone joins the gym. And for the first 2-3 weeks, for the people who go to the gym, they regular gym goers hate that time because all the machines are like absolutely like used. The gym is packed, etc. So all the regular gym goers just like hate it then, because you see you get all these insty people, we call them insty people, who want instant results, and they'll come for like 1, 2, 3 weeks, and then like after that 3 weeks they will quit, right? Because they stop going, because you know they don't get instant results, they're not prepared to put in the work, they're not, and that's human nature, that's normal, right? Okay, so the thing is they're not prepared to go through the pain, and it's just they'll go back to their comfort zone, right? Comfort eating, not doing any exercise, and then obviously just going back to the way they were, right? Okay, and that's just normal. I mean, it's normal. And the thing is, you see, like, if you take the 4%ers who are the winners in life, the people who reach the top of their game, the top of their profession, in like whatever that profession is, whether it's a job, a sport, music, whatever, okay, an art, a skill. The people who reach the very top, the top 4%ers, are the ones who are prepared to master their craft, okay, to learn, to take action, to constantly improve, fall over, get up, okay, fall over, get up, fall over, get up, but never quit, okay? That is what a 4%er is, okay? And the thing is, was I a 4%er 16 years ago when I started? Hell no, I wasn't. You know what? I often tell you, I mean, not only did I have everything going against me, my self-esteem was on the floor, my self-confidence was on the floor, okay? And like, seriously, I mean, I couldn't even speak back then. I mean, I would get asked to do a testimonial. I would come over in like cold sweat. Okay, I was just so like scared. I was scared, right? Okay. So the thing is, so the thing is, you can look at me and certainly not look at me today, but look at me from where I came from and what I became. It was all through, consistency, persistency, having a very strong why, and learning and taking action, learning, falling over. I've fallen over. See, I've fallen over 1,000 times. Okay. It's as simple as that. Fallen over 1,000 times. Okay. And I just kept getting up because I knew I wanted more in my life. And the thing is, you see, unless you're willing to settle for mediocrity and just give up and go back to the comfort zone, the thing is, nothing's going to change, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Okay, simple, right? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result, right? So the thing is, it's not going to happen, right? You have to make it happen. You have to go out. You got to get out of that comfort zone. You got to take action. You got to take action every day. You got to take action, and despite getting, like ridiculed, like getting rejected, you got to stay enthusiastic. See, as an entrepreneur, you got to stay enthusiastic. You got to keep going. You got to keep fighting for those goals and the dreams and everything that's on your vision board. Okay. And you got to keep doing it until you've got that, right? Okay. Because let me tell you, even if you carved out an income, let's say you carved out an income, you got to senior rep. Okay. If you got to senior rep, right, and lifestyle qualified, and you're making an extra $500 a month as a passive residual income. Man, I mean, you know, if you haven't got that, I mean, obviously we have MDs and directors on this call, but let's say you just did that, right? You will be super excited. Okay, that would help you in your life. I mean, nobody can tell me that an extra 500 a month will not help you in your life, right? So you know what? Just work hard to do that, and that's, you know what? It's like 30 gold, 30 left, 15 platinum left, 15 platinum right, as a team, okay, to achieve that, right? And I'm telling you that will have a huge impact on your life. So you know what? Just do that, and that starts with you sponsoring some people. So like, go sponsor 6 people, 3 left, 3 right. See if anyone wants to work. If not, go do it again. Okay, rinse and repeat. Find people who want to do it. Help them, right? Okay. It takes 42 years to get to the state pension. And yeah, exactly. Actually, I was doing my dad was telling me like his state pension after 40 odd years of working is £400 a month, right? So guys, I mean, you know, you got the ability to actually create that income in less than a year. Seriously, some people, you know, we've had people do it in a month, right? But the thing is, you've got to create the urgency. This is like I was saying, you've got to create the urgency. You've got to create importance on it, and take that action. You know, make things happen. Okay, that's really, really important. And then the thing is, you know, like we will, you know, I'm always watching who's coming in the team, who the ones taking the action or whatever, and I will attach myself and I'll work with the ones who are working, right? Okay, so like when an ace comes in the team and I see them taking action, then I'm personally mentor them, right? Okay, so this is something which is very, very key. But the thing is, you know, like I said, you got to reset. Now is the time to reset. Okay, reset the goals and reset the action as well. Reset the goal, reset the action, because residual income only comes with residual effort, right? I actually coined this phrase myself. Residual income comes from residual effort, okay, right? So rinse and repeat. Keep it simple, rinse and repeat. Okay. So that is the main thing. So let me answer this question. So if there's any other questions, but let me answer this question. So love to know how to convert a hot rapid funnel prospect to a sign up. 15 reached the hot status, and so far 1 became a member. So the thing is, obviously, if they are completely cold market, then the thing is, you know, 1 out of 15 is not so bad, right? Okay, so it's just increased the numbers. If they are hot, then you know, I would just say, look, I would get people on a call as quickly as possible and just say, look, you know, I see that you've had a look at these videos because you've got the tracker, you've got the activity tracker, you know, on every single contact. You can go click on any contact, click on activity tracker, and it shows you what they've looked at. And I would be like, hey, you know, look, I'm just following up with you from, you know, you looking at some of the information, and you know, when's a good time to talk? Get on a call, and I would just say to them, look, you know, I saw that you watched like multiple times the videos and all that kind of stuff, and you know, so my question is that, you know, what did you like best about what you saw? You know, I saw that, you know, you went back and had a look at the information on, you know, many occasions. So I would get them on a call, just find out what they're thinking, whether they have any questions, and whether they're ready to get started. Okay, and obviously 3-way calls, of course, yeah, right, okay. But Tony, you know that anyway, so like, you know what to do, right? Okay, so that really is the key. So the last thing I'm going to finish with is obviously talking about the events, because like I say, you know, and again, I mentioned this last time on a call the other day, you know, let's get yourself off to a fantastic start. So we have a regional training event, you know, in London. So all our UK guys in London. We've got one in France, in a place that I can't even pronounce, but so maybe someone can type that. You know, we got one in Stuttgart, a couple of events in Romania. Okay, so obviously just check out on wveventreg.com. Okay, wveventreg.com, the events. You know, there's still spaces, you know, for the RT in London. You know, so I'll be there. Jay will be there. Some of our team will be there. Okay, Melody Risman, IMD, 24 years old, incredible. She was like literally broke, traveling and working to survive in Australia when she saw the concert, right? And now she's like, financially free, traveling the world, driving an Aston Martin at like 24 years old, and just living life of freedom. First IMD in France, yeah. So, is that someone that you want to get around and hear her story, just to hear her story? Yeah, I mean, I'd pay for the event ticket just to hear her story. And then we've got an RMD from Italy, a guy called Alessandro, great guy, really good friend of mine. So he's going to be training as well. Again, sharing his story, and they're going to be sharing their success tips. Yeah. So the thing is, just do what you can to get there, be at that event. There's still time. Okay, it's Thursday, right? You have tomorrow to book. Okay, so guys, and then obviously, then talking about Momentum. So Momentum Europe, there's still tickets available. Asia, there's not. It's sold out. Still tickets available for Africa and also in the US away. So the US event is like next weekend. So not this weekend, the following weekend, I believe. Is that right? Am I right? When is the date of the US Momentum? Just someone typing the dates for the US Momentum, just so I've got that right, because I haven't got that in front of me at the moment. If someone could just check the site and just post the dates, that's cool. So, these are the main things that I wanted to cover today. So just to recap, guys, I mean, like, resetting those goals on January 24th. So it is next weekend. So, reset your goals, reset your action. Okay. Make a goal to like hit senior rep. So like, if you're already above senior rep, like do it again. Okay. Add another $500 to your income, right? So this is, what I would do, because I mean, just at least do that. And man, I'm telling you, if you had an extra $500 a month coming in every single month as a passive residual income, you will be excited, right? Okay. And once you do that, you've got a story and you teach other people to do the same thing, right? But as I said, remember, it all starts with you signing up 6 people, okay, in the first place. Okay. So, so one thing I will just share with you on closing. This is a really good closing tip. Yeah, when you're talking to people, and like if someone says to you, yeah, I like the idea, blah blah blah, and then you ask them, okay, so from a scale of 1 to 10, right, 1 being I'm not interested and 10 being I'm ready to get started, where are you? Okay. And then if they say it's over 7, then just say, okay, if someone says 7, 8 or 9, I'm going to say to them, okay, cool, so is there any other questions, or are you ready to sign up, ready to get started, ready to put you on the system, right? Okay. And if they say 10, I'll just be, okay, let's get you signed up. Okay. Have you got a MasterCard or a Visa? Did you understand the different packages, gold, platinum, titanium, and have you an idea of which one you want to choose? So I might have to explain the differences, right? And then if someone starts coming up with yeah, look, I like the idea, I'm a 7+, but I don't have time to, I said to him, but you just say, look, let me ask you a question. This is where, this is where, this is a really very, very good tip for closing people, right? Okay, or helping them make the right decision, right? And you just say to people, look, you sort of like said to me that like, you want to make more money, right? Okay. So actually, Jay shared this one with you. Where do you want to be 1 year from now? So this is a good question to ask you. Where do you want to be 1 year from now, right? Okay. And let them answer the question, and just say like, doing what you're doing, do you think you're going to get there, right? Because often people say, I want to travel more, I want to make more money, blah, blah, blah. Do you think that, doing what you're doing, you're going to get there, right? And then, because this is where they're going to express their pain, right? Like what's painful in their life and how they want to fix it. And then you just say to that person, look, when do you want to fix that? Yeah. When do you want to fix that? Right. So when someone tells you what their pain is, ask them, when do you want to fix that? I think that's a really great closing question, right? Okay. And, because then you time them down to when they're going to join, right? So just wanted to throw that in the mix. Hope you found that valuable today. Just put in your comments as to what you thought of today's coaching. And thank you for joining me. And I'll be back same time next week. Thank you very much. I think we covered all the questions. Okay. We good? Okay, awesome. So I'll see you guys. Anyone who's coming to the RT in London on Saturday, I will see you there. Okay. All the very best.